Hi everyone, it's Penny here from Witch Astrology today with our Sunday vlog. And I'm talking about my own life, but kind of relating it to the world and the transits because we are all interconnected and we've had some pretty intense transits lately. I've heard some people who seem like they're going through a pretty rough time, either on the brink of tears or recently recovering from tears, or maybe a little bit in between breaks of crying. And I myself, despite being a lunar Capricorn, I have felt pretty broken down as well. And the big part of the reason for this is because we have this planet, Jupiter, retrograde in Scorpio. And then we have these other planets in Capricorn and Saturn in Capricorn. And Capricorn is a very self-deprecating sign. It has big expectations. It wants everything in life to amount to and ultimately add up to something. And then Scorpio is a sign that always wants to dig deeper into things. And a lot of times Scorpio and Pluto, which Pluto is actually in Capricorn right now, tends to dig deeper into wounds and rip them open and find the truth that's behind them. And then we also have to dig deep into what everything in life has ultimately added up to. So especially like connections we've had with other people and how we've connected with the world around us. Did it really meet our expectations? Were we horribly disappointed? Were we heartbroken? Were we good enough to get the things that we wanted in life? And I think, a lot of people have these kinds of thoughts going on right now, and they're really eating away at us and hurting us. And in this video, I'm going to talk about my own personal experience with that pain and what it meant for me. One of the pains in life that I am most familiar with is the feeling of rejection. And that's something everyone has to experience one way or the other, rejection from someone you had a crush on, rejection from a potential employer, anything like that. But for me, it's been so common and so overwhelming that I feel like I'm unfamiliar with the feeling of acceptance. And then I almost feel like it's the little times in my life where I've had a taste of what it feels like to start to think I'm accepted. And then I have that ripped away from me. And that's what hurts so bad. That's what opens the wound. And kind of the process that I'm going through right now. I have had that wound of rejection ripped open, and I have experienced the pain in all new ways, and I've been trying to cope with that. I have not had the level of emotional bravery that I would have hoped for myself to have. In my previous video, I talked about emotional fears. And why it's completely legitimate to be afraid of your own emotions. And I think we all really are. Emotions are one of the scariest things out there. And we think it's silly because emotions aren't real. They're not physically present. But at the same time, it's the one thing we can't escape from. It follows us around everywhere that we go. But on some level, I think we do still have to just get over it and be like, yes, this is legitimate, this is scary, but it's silly for me to let it affect me because we lose things. We lose opportunities in life. We lose connections with people. We lose healthy, good things when we let our fear of our emotions or how we might end up feeling stop us. And we do have to honor that fear. We do have to respect how we're feeling, but we still have to have the bravery and be able to keep our heart open in order to push through it. But what everyone wants to do is they want to close. They want to protect themselves. They're like, wow, the world's just been really mean and nasty to me. And the easiest thing to do is to create this hard outer shell and be just as mean and nasty as you feel the world has been. And I think we all, at least for a moment, we will slip up and we will resort to that. A lot of people, I think, just make it their norm because they feel like it will protect them. But protect you from what? I feel like it'll really only protect you from real, true life experiences. And maybe sometimes it'll protect you from the bad experiences, but it protects you and it cuts you off from the good experiences. So I've been thinking a lot about this and, how good people end up being bad because they're damaged, they're jaded, whatever, and how difficult it is to maintain your sense of purity and integrity and operate by the same morals and standards and beliefs in your heart that you were born with, that you experienced as a child, and how difficult it is to be the adult that you wanted to be. And it's so tempting to give up because it feels just like this unrealistic fallacy, like, wow, how is this actually going to play out into the real world and the way we are existing in society? How am I going to coexist with that? And for survival, we strive so hard to blend in, we strive so hard to go with the crowd. So that's something I've been thinking about a lot, good versus evil. Maybe my next Sunday vlog will go more into the good and evil forces in the world and why I think it happens the way it does. And I have some examples of stuff that happened to me this week that I would like to use in that, specifically interactions with police officers, because I feel like they're a really good example of people who have very strongly experienced the evil in the world and oftentimes are corrupted or become corrupt over time because of trauma and whatnot that they witness. But I have a poem that I wrote that I'm going to go ahead and share. And this is kind of about my own outer shell and how I have protected or tried to protect myself from emotional damage. Someone once told me that I have like this white fluffy aura on the inside, and white represents purity, but then on the outside I have this red, like this fire, so I'm more like outwardly aggressive, but then when you get in deeper I'm just like all soft and fluffy. So this is something that I think a lot of people might relate to. When you hear it, it's kind of intense and it doesn't really say great things about me. It's very Leo-y, meaning that it's egocentric and it's aggressive and feral like a lion. So when you hear it, you might be thinking, holy shit, did this Leo just roast herself? And yes, I did roast myself, because as a lunar Capricorn, I am great at roasting myself. You know, it's that internal self-deprecation that comes about here. But this is about my own experience. So, tried to be brave, but I'm only a slave to the pain of this world and the madness it brings. Tried to be brave, but I'm only afraid. Hope I won't be a slave to you, to you, to you. I won't be afraid of you, of you, of you. Ring of fire, burn them down. My desire, hearts abound. Ring of fire, break them all. Never tire, they're all gone. Ring of fire, protected liar. False empire, burn you down. Feels like I'm too soft, I'm too hot, you can't touch. A burning flame. I'm difficult to hold. I'll tear you up tenfold. My flames are so visceral. I'm savage like an animal. Kindness is in past tense. Never lower my defense. I'm getting more vicious. Ring of fire. Savage like an animal. Ring of fire. Caught up in my desire. Ring of fire. Break every heart I see. Ring of fire. My desire. Protected liar. False empire. So that is something I had started working on probably at least a month ago, and I kind of just got everything together and got it at a point that I wanted it to be at. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed the video. I really strive to open myself up and pour myself out there more, because I feel like, you know, closing up just limits me a lot, and I'm trying to get more comfortable with being myself, and really truly overcoming that fear of rejection and being able to face the rejection head on and accept it when it comes. And I don't know how exactly to do that. Sometimes it's just about taking more hits and getting tougher to the point that you don't care anymore. But then sometimes I wonder if I've perhaps let myself take too many hits, but I don't really know how else to improve. So I tend to throw myself out there for the potential of being rejected. A lot. And I've felt rejected from just about any source available in life. I guess the one person I haven't felt rejected from yet is my own daughter, who's only 4. So I fear the day she tells me something like, "Oh, you're not cool, I don't want you here," or something like that. And, I hope I can deal with that okay. And hopefully, if I'm lucky, she'll never say anything like that. She is a very sweet kid, so she might not be the typical teenager. But yeah, if you've watched any of my other videos where I talk about my life, I felt rejected by my peers when I was growing up. I was incredibly unpopular, like hiding in the bathroom during lunch type of unpopular. I felt rejected by my family. I've felt rejected by potential employers because I was so awkward. I didn't know how to be charismatic and didn't do a very good job of getting hired. And recently there's just been more rejection that I've faced with other things I tried to open myself up towards. And my heart has been horribly broken in a variety of ways, both in career goals, types of things, and success and passions and hobbies and things that I would like to do. I feel like my heart's been broken from some of those things. And then also, from a variety of people, and, especially like one person that I felt was important to me in life and was going to potentially be important, and then it was very clear that I was not equally important, if important at all. So I've been experiencing a lot of loneliness being in a new state, because I recently moved out of Texas and all of that, so it's been a lot to deal with, but I'm still here and I'm still kicking, and I just wanted to get my perspective out there into the world. I hope I will see you guys again soon. Thanks for listening to me. I appreciate it. Go ahead and leave your comments, your thoughts, share whatever you would like to share. Bye.